The ninth episode of Mickey Mouse Works is not my favourite Mickey Mouse Works animation, but it's not too bad. We have four cartoons here, one of which is very short, the other three are actually a pretty decent length. And it starts off with Goofy's Extreme Sports rock climbing. And as always with these, I've already seen these cartoons as part of House of Mouse, so I'm discussing whether or not my opinions have changed, and also what I feel like the episode as a whole is with this package of cartoons. And starting off with Goofy is always a really good idea because they're short, they're sweet, and there are quite a lot of Goofy cartoons, so I think it's a good idea to get at least one, and usually only one, in an episode. Rock climbing is not a bad one, it's fairly interesting. Some information about the equipment rock climbers use, so it's potentially educational. And I really liked how it's animated. I liked the sky, I liked the first time I watched it, I liked it the second time. Not a bad way to start off the ninth episode. Then we have one that is beautifully animated, and that's Hansel and Gretel. This is obviously Mickey and Minnie in the roles of Hansel and Gretel, and we have a lot of candy colours and sweets, and it's just delicious. And I really liked it more, I think, the second time than I did the first time. I don't know why exactly, I just feel like I was maybe just more in the mood for it. It's a relatively lengthy cartoon. I feel like it's maybe a bit longer than it could have been. They could have tightened it up a little bit without losing anything, but it's not so much of a big deal. The third cartoon is a Donald Duck one, and we also have Huey, Dewey, and Louie, which is always a delight. Huey, Dewey, and Louie are building a snowman, and Donald destroys the snowman accidentally because he's ice skating. And Huey, Dewey, and Louie decide to torment Donald and get their own back while he's out on the ice. I love the nephews, so whenever they're in a cartoon, it always makes me smile. And it's definitely a really enjoyable one. And then we have another Mickey Mouse one. I feel like they could have put something a little bit different in here because having two Mickey centric ones is not the most balanced. But the cartoon's quite different to any of the others. Mickey moves into a very futuristic house and things don't necessarily go according to plan. It's not my favourite. I don't love it. I didn't like it as much as I did the first time I watched it, but it's an interesting concept about technology and um, the role it can play in the house, even more so today. It's actually narrated in rhyme, which I do love. I think it's a very well written episode. The animation's maybe not my favourite. I can't actually remember how I felt the first time I watched it. I don't go back and listen to my discussions when I do these because I don't want my original opinions to, colour my most recent opinion. Generally, I can remember what I feel about this one, but I feel like I'm kind of on the fence watching it now, and that might have been how I felt last time. Either way, it's not a bad cartoon, but it's definitely not a favourite. So we have a Goofy, a Minnie and Mickey, Donald, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and then Mickey again. Once again, there's a distinct absence of Daisy Duck, which is so bizarre because she's such a great character. We also have an absence of Pluto as well. There's no Pluto-centric cartoon here as well, so they definitely could have done that with the Mickey's Mechanical House and got a bit more balance with the Sensational Six. But nevertheless, it's not a bad mix of cartoons, but it's definitely not the best.